Hello, everybody. Welcome again back to Codecast Live. My name is Di D'Amato, and again, this is now a phone call that I'm going to get just when I go live. So this is what live is all about. We're just going to let that ring. Maybe it'll stop. Who knows? It's like timing is everything. Timing is everything. Well, again, this is pre-recorded, so we're um, just gonna let that ring. It's only gonna be a minute, folks. It'll stop. There it goes. Okay, fine. Now that that's over with, we're going to actually talk about regular expressions. So regular expressions are this thing in JavaScript where you're able to basically manipulate different things that are dealing with strings. So strings are like different kind of characters. So it could either be text or numbers or just like weird characters like exclamation points or slashes and stuff like that. So we'll be kind of playing a little bit with how those kinds of things work. And let's just kind of get started with the whole thing. We're going to go into the code. I'll bring it up over here. Okay. And let's take a look. So because this is going to be in JavaScript, we're going to just be dealing with the JavaScript pieces over here. So we'll just open this guy up like this, and we'll open up the DevTools console so we could see what's going on in here. So you can click console right there, and we'll see our console. Okay, so in order for us to create a regular expression, what we need to do is there's actually a couple different ways of doing it. First thing is we can actually turn a string into a regular expression. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically match stuff within the string. So let's do var Regx for regular expression, and let's say that I want to find the character A inside of a string, and here's going to be our string that we're going to be looking at for it. We're going to say let's do the quick brown fox. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Cool. Okay, no period, we'll just leave it like that. All right, so one of the first ways that we could do the regex is to actually create the regex using a constructor. In JavaScript, it's basically like a function. So we could turn this regex kind of thing here into, not the regex, but the string that is going to represent a regex into an actual regex by doing this. We're going to take what we have typed here and put it into a new regexp function. Okay, so all I did was I took the A string that we had at the beginning and we made it into a new regular expression. That's all that does. So now this represents a regular expression as opposed to just a string. All right, so now I can actually test to see if this character appears inside of the string. Okay, so in order to do that, I could say console, actually I'll say var test, because that's actually the method we're going to use. And then we're going to say regex.test string. And what that should do is it should return either true or false. There it is, true. Okay, so what that's doing is it's looking inside of this string using this regular expression. Okay, now again, the regular expression is just saying, find this character A. But what I could also do is I could say, let's do a number. Let's say, let's look for 9, right? So if we look for 9 in here and we save, am I not running? Might not be running automatically. Oh, there it goes. False. Okay, so it doesn't see the character 9 in this thing. Now, another thing I'm going to check actually is the character lowercase t. Now, you'll see that there's a capital T over here, right? It says true. Okay, so that means it must be catching this T because I don't see any other T's in here. If I remove the T from here, it should say false. True. Is there another T in here that I don't see? A quick brown... right there. Okay. So instead of the lazy dog, let's do a lazy dog. I should get false, right? Okay, so now you'll notice that the T here doesn't match. It's case sensitive, okay? Now, if I want it to be case insensitive, I have to put something called a flag. So the new regular expression, I put a comma, and I put lowercase I as a string. And now I get true. You see there's the true there? So that means that it doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase, just find a T for me. So that's what that's doing. All right? So that's a way to determine if the thing has a string or not. Now maybe I want to check for an entire word, right? So maybe I want to look for brown, right? I could do that. There's true. That's cool. But if I look for red, let's see, there shouldn't be anything red in here. False. It's not there. Okay? So I could do entire words, which is good. I could also check for spaces. So the space characters. So I could just actually put a space character in there, and it should say true, which is cool. Okay? Now, let's say we wanted to know about the, like anything that had, let's see here. I'm trying to think of what would be a good example based on what I have for you here, because one of the things that throws the people off a lot is this idea about tokens in here, and the tokens are a little weird. So one of the things that you could do is you could have this token that looks like this, just to give you an example. So I have this like /W, and you're going to get true on here, and all this means is find any word character. Now, what does a word character mean? Well, you could look this up, but for the most part, it just means find any character that's either from A to Z lowercase or an A to Z uppercase. So that also means that I could probably, of course, remove this because it doesn't matter anymore if it's lowercase or uppercase, and I'll get that. Okay? Now, this means, again, any word character. So it's the slash, and then the W says any word character. So that's going to match basically this first T actually is what it's matching. It's not matching the entire string. It's just matching the first time it defines one. Okay, so that's what the lowercase w means in this case. Now, if I put in a uppercase W, okay, now you'll see it says false here, okay, and what that basically is looking for is it's looking for stuff that's not a word character. Okay, so the not a word character means it's anything that's not lowercase a through z or uppercase a through z. So that's not really working right here. Okay, so because there's definitely a word character right here, and it's going to fail. Okay, now instead what we'll do is we'll do a phone number, because I like to do phone numbers in here. And let's say we have this weird phone number that's like got parentheses in it, and it's got some other weird characters. So we'll do 555 1 2 3 4 0090. Let's do that. Okay, so it's like a phone number that you might see as a string somewhere in the world, and what we want to do here is we want to find the digits. So we want to make sure there's digits in here, okay? And better yet, what we want to do is we want to make sure there's only digits in here. We don't want this weird, parenthesis or the weird space in here or any of that stuff. So we want to do a replacement, okay? So in order to do the replacement, we're going to do this like a little bit of a flip thing in here. I'm going to remove the test stuff. Or actually, let's leave the test there. I'll say var phone. And we'll say string dot replace, and we're going to put the regex in here, and then we're going to actually just put an empty string. And what this is going to mean, once I do this thing here, I'll console log the phone because you'll see the replacement that happens. You'll see that we're not replacing anything, we're not matching anything. There's no word characters in here, so we're not doing anything. But what this is going to do here with string.replace, it's going to take this regular expression, okay, and on this string use the regular expression to determine everything in the regular expression that we match, and basically remove it. That's what this empty string is going to be for. Now I can replace it with anything, and we'll see that in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is, instead of looking for word characters, I'm going to basically say not a digit. Okay? So not a digit is basically looking for each one of the implementations of like this thing here. So this is not a digit, this is not a digit, this is not a digit, so on and so forth. And making sure that when I find one of those things, that it is replaced with nothing. Okay? Now, you can see that it's not really working in here. So what we could do is we'll have to do it a couple of different flags. One of the flags we'll need to do is G. Whoops, G. And there we go. So they got the G in here. So that means it's basically multi-line. The next thing here also is I also need, I think, a plus sign. I think that'll also help. Let's see if that works. No, that doesn't work yet. And I want to also try an M. Why is none of that working? Here's the string. String replace. Should be finding this stuff. Well, one of the things I like to do actually as well is I won't do the regex here in the JavaScript. I'll actually go to regex101.com. So let's go over there and let's test out this regex. Make sure that's working right. So I'm going to have a regex that's slash a capital D plus. So I'm going to copy my string as my test string. Okay, copy. And I'll put the test string in here. Make sure this says ECMAScript or JavaScript over here. And I'm going to put in my regular expression. So D plus this. Right? So that's copying that stuff. It's got that stuff. Right? So it's matching all the stuff that I'm expecting. So what this is saying is that it's actually describing what this stuff is doing. And you can see how the G and M thing over here as well. I could turn these there are flags here. So you can see I need global. Otherwise it won't match all the things that I need. Okay? But it says that the slash capital D plus says that it matches any character that's not a digit, right? So things that are not between 0 and 9, and match it 1 and unlimited times, meaning that match it at least once or as many times as needed, so it can match like a whole bunch of times. So like, for instance, this thing is doing that right here. This is 1 time, this is unlimited times. Okay? And you can see all the matches that it's happening here. So what it should be doing again is it should be doing the string replace, find everything that is not that stuff, and replacing it with empty. So let's put in something weird and see if it actually shows up. Nothing. I don't know what the problem is. All right, well, I'm going to actually write this regular expression as something else. I'm going to write the regular expression this way. Let's try this. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, that's now working. I don't know why, what the difference was between writing the regular expression like this and the new regular expression, but this one likes to work. So I can actually just remove this here. And yeah, there's the digits. Perfect. Okay. Again, I'm not sure. I'd have to look up why this version of the regular expression syntax doesn't work. Or I'm sorry, works as opposed to what I'll comment in the other version of doing a regular expression, exp. Unless, oh, you know what I might have to do? I might have to actually escape that slash. That might be what the problem is. G. So let me actually escape this. And I think it's just double slash, and I think that'll work. Let's just do that real quick and see what happens. Yeah, see, that was it. So the problem with the string representation of this is that every time you use this backslash character, you need to escape it. And by escaping a character, you need to put an extra backslash in here. So that's why I actually much rather do this version of writing a regular expression, which has this like the slash character, / character to begin one, and then the / character to end a regular expression, right? So that's what it's kind of like this stuff that's happening over here. Okay, so that's a much cleaner way of writing a regular expression. Is you have the regular expression between 2 /, and then you can put your flags after that. So they'll have the G modifier there to make sure you get a whole bunch of matches. And again, what this is doing is saying find all the things that are not a digit as many times as possible. So it finds this guy, finds these 2 things, and finds this thing. And that's what it's going to do through here. It's going to take that regular expression on this string and replace everything with nothing. And that's why we get a string of just digits in here, which is really helpful. Okay, so that about wraps that up. Again, sorry for the couple of things. Of course, the phone call in the beginning because this is live, and also for getting a little bit tripped up on the regular expression explanation there. Maybe in some future I'll be able to find a better example of how to display a regular expression or why you might use one. But for right now, it's a good thing to just kind of play with and not get so scared about the tokens. They're not terrible, especially the ones that are just matching kind of like wildcard characters. So matching words or digits or even white space, which is actually the lowercase or uppercase S characters with the backslash. So those things are really helpful for you too. But anyway, hopefully that wasn't too long, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.